Alarms. There's the ones that wake you up in the morning, tell you you've got a message, that your lunch is ready, to close the fridge door, emails, phone calls, Skype calls, Facebook message, turbulence, Amber Alert. And one particular researcher has created this, an alarm to stand out from the crowd, an alarm to stop a head-on car collision. Her name is...
Carol Baldwin.
And she's...
I am the director of the Human Factors and Applied Cognition program at George Mason University.
So how do you go about creating one of the world's most annoying sounds?
We started out by going out and getting recordings of actual sounds that were in automobiles currently. Then we took those sounds back to the lab.
Once they collected the sounds, it was time to test on people. They created a system where the listener could
play a sound and then put it in a category
that the sound most represented. Either a low urgency, like a Facebook notification, a medium range urgency, like a check engine alert, and finally, a high level urgency, like an oncoming collision warning.
And then from there, we set up a series of driving simulator studies. And they're driving along and they're doing another task just to kind of give them a distraction component. And then suddenly, unexpectedly, the car that they're following would brake suddenly. And we looked at their collision avoidance response, the timing of that.
They created the perfect forward collision warning alarm. And this was really important because
we found that the sounds being used currently weren't perceived as being very urgent. You know, a poorly designed sound can be more dangerous than not having a warning at all.
So thanks for using the most annoying sound to keep us safe.
The anechoic chamber is a test lab for doing acoustic testing. It's a chamber within a chamber within a chamber.
That's Steve.
I'm Steve Orfield, the founder of Orfield Laboratories in Minneapolis.
And we're talking about what it feels like to sit in one of the quietest rooms on Earth. An anechoic chamber is a room that absorbs sound, so it's quiet.
When we put subjects in the anechoic chamber, we sit them in a chair and we turn off the lights.
It turns out that the only noises you'd hear in there are noises that come from inside your own body.
Right away, you'll usually hear the sound of your ears buzzing. You'll start to hear the joints in your arms and in your legs, like the sound of rubbing two pieces of wood together. You'll clearly hear your heart beating, kind of a boom, 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 boom. The flow of the air into your lungs.
And sounds from inside your body that you might have heard outside the chamber are suddenly so much louder.
Any noise that would be startling outside the chamber would be 16 times as startling inside the chamber.
Noises like your stomach growling or your knuckles cracking. People don't last that long inside.
Maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
And that's mainly because of one of two reasons.
Some people find that very relaxing. Some people find that fearful or claustrophobic.
One person's peace and quiet is another's personal nightmare.
Here we are in the Hoh Valley rainforest. This is a cathedral, my cathedral. In this forest is the quietest place in the entire United States, and it's only 1 square inch in size. My mission is to keep it that way. I'm Gordon Hempton. I'm a sound tracker. I travel the globe in search of vanishing sounds, including the most endangered of all, which is simply silence. Noise pollution is nearly inescapable. The Hoh Valley is the quietest, least noise polluted place in the entire lower 48. I don't know if I can save silence, but I know that I can try. So it was 12 years ago, 2005 Earth Day, that I hiked up the Hoh River Valley. It took 3 miles just to escape the noise of the parking lot. That's when I was looking in every direction for which way I should go. I saw the elk trail, loved to follow their advice because they love quiet just like I do. And they led me right to the spot. It's just through that tree, then off into the woods. I defend this 1 square inch of silence by doing both quiet and noise monitoring. When a noise intrusion occurs, I locate the noise maker, send them a letter, and ask for compliance. This matter is urgent. Within 10 years, it's likely that there will be no quiet places left unless we take action. When I first started, I did not think silence would go extinct in my lifetime. And if that happens, the quiet will disappear and the wildlife will be devastated. The 1 Square Inch of Silence Foundation is pressing our politicians to pass a single piece of legislation that will designate Olympic National Park as the world's first quiet park off limits to aircraft. All things are possible. The earth is here, and it's beautiful. And for me, it all starts here in the Hoh Valley.
I'm Pops, the mentor.
And I'm Nicole Paris, the princess.
Beatboxing is just simply making sounds with your mouth, making music with your mouth. When beatbox came to St. Louis in the early 80s, it was always about emulating what the DJ did. So I just started perfecting my skill as I got older. And then my wife, she gets pregnant with Nicole. So I would beatbox up against the belly and Nicole would start twisting. So you would see my wife's belly almost like boom, boom, boom. She liked it. She thought it was funny and cute. And then as Nicole got bigger in the belly, it wasn't cute no more.
At the age of 13 was my first talent show. I just went home and I said, Pops, I just joined the talent show. You're gonna teach me how to beatbox. He taught me how to hold the mic, taught me how to breathe, taught me the basic beat. I went to the talent show, did that. They made me mad at the talent show. They was clapping off beat and they was like, I then started to add my own thing to what he taught me.
One night I came home from work and as I'm walking in the door, I heard her making all these strange noise. I had to tell her like, that's not beatboxing. No, don't do that, that's corny.
I was like, what?
This is when I had to realize and tell myself, look, this is what she wants to do.
Me and Pops, we beatbox anywhere, all day.
Don't even make a difference.
No, it really don't. We beatbox while cooking, barbershop.
When we're ready to beatbox, it literally
happens.
Doesn't matter. If you go to her YouTube channel, you will see us sitting down, beatboxing. And to some folks, it can look like a competition.
Oh my God. We're not really battling. It's just
jam session, just us having fun. This is how I bond with my child. Even though 160 million people be like, Pops, you lost. Pop, loser. I want her to be the best. I want her to outdo me, not in outdo me like as in a battle, but I want her to just continue to grow and add to beatboxing.
I would like to walk down the red carpet and have the interviewers talk to me about the choices that I made creatively, as opposed to, hey, you're a female. I'd be like, yeah, and? Having been in a band, I was recording things and they weren't coming out right. And that was it. I wanted to be in control of what it sounded like.
Emily Lazar is a mastering engineer.
In its most basic, a mastering engineer takes either stereo or multi-channel audio and prepares it for distribution, whether that be making it sound the best on a piece of vinyl, on Spotify. One mastering approach doesn't always work for all of those different needs.
But she isn't just any mastering engineer. She is the first woman to ever be nominated in the category of Best Engineered Album Non-Classical.
When that first Grammy nomination where I was for the first woman for Album of the Year, I was like completely in shock. And so I started, trying to look online to see if I could figure out if that was actually true, because it couldn't be in my mind. It just couldn't be.
Mastering the mastering industry doesn't always save you from the inevitable.
Being female and being in audio in the first place was a complete oddity. There's sexism, there's ageism, there's all sorts of things that happen, and we're in a culture now where you can speak out. I was not allowed really to speak out before. I also had situations where I had people inject me into a situation because I was a woman and because they thought that was like a cool thing to have a woman in there, which was also equally as despicable. These things happened and I'm aware that they happened, but they did not get my attention. They did not suck me down. And I always try to inspire not just women to follow their dreams. I really believe that if you can see it and make it happen, it happens. And if you only see all the negative stuff, all the people who don't want women or don't treat you like an equal or whatever, then you're gonna spend your life kind of focusing on that. And I don't have time for that. I don't have room for that. I want to make records and I don't want to talk about why I can't.